potential government shutdown in just 2 days is now looking a lot less likely this morning after the House passed new Speaker Mike Johnson's unconventional stopgap funding bill yesterday, largely with the help of Democrats. The two-step plan was approved on a bipartisan vote of 336 to 95. That means 209 Democrats, as opposed to just 127 Republicans, voted in favor of it. 93 Republicans and just 2 Democrats voted against. The move essentially punts the Republican spending fight until after the holidays. Speaker Johnson told reporters he was pleased with the outcome.
Your first big bill, sir, how does it feel?
We just had to get the job done. We'll do it day by day.
Any concern about the number of Republican defections there were?
We'll get our team together and run the agenda. We're ready to do that.
How do you get your team together from here?
You'll see.
So the measure does not include any spending cuts or any additional conservative policy add-ons. But importantly, it also does not include a supplemental package covering things like aid for Israel and Ukraine or additional U.S. border security. The bill now heads to the Senate, which is expected to then pass it on to President Biden's desk by Friday night for his signature to keep the government open. Joining us now, congressional reporter for Politico and lead writer for the Huddle newsletter, which you should all be reading, Daniela Diaz. Daniela, good morning. Thanks for being here with us. So let's start there with that unusual vote totals, that this bill passed the House largely with the help of Democrats, far more Democrats voting for it than Republicans. How did that come about?
Well, it came about because this legislation to keep the government funded until January doesn't include any spending cuts. I spoke to countless Republicans this week, Jonathan, Republican House members who were telling me that they wanted to see some sort of spending cuts included in this package. Of course, a lot of conservatives giving Speaker Johnson this leeway right now because he's in this tricky position where he just became Speaker 2.5 weeks ago. I'm losing track. It's only been about a minute, it feels like. And he had to figure out how to fund the government pretty quickly. And he knew that he needed Democratic votes to be able to do this because a lot of his own conference doesn't want to support a continuing resolution to fund the government unless it has cuts. And if it does have cuts, that's going to be a problem in the Senate because it's a Democratic majority and President Joe Biden probably wouldn't sign that. So this is how he had to do it. And that's why we saw that happen yesterday. I want to say last night because it happened around 5 p.m. where more Democrats supported this than Republicans, which we're going to see as a talking point from a lot of these conservatives in the coming days.
So let's drill down on that a little bit. Of course, it was a vote to keep the government open that cost Kevin McCarthy his speakership. Now we've got Speaker Johnson doing the same, getting Democrats on board. How angry are some of the hardline Republicans, or any of them, going to try to oust Speaker Johnson from his job?
You know what's interesting, Jonathan, is these conservatives, and when I say conservatives, these House Freedom Caucus members who I've been speaking to are really giving Speaker Johnson some room. They're furious, of course, as you noted, but they understand that Johnson just came into this job 2 weeks ago. He's actually never ran a committee. He was not an appropriator. He is new to all of this. As he noted, he feels like he's drinking from Niagara Falls. That's how overwhelmed he is in this role. And so we're seeing them give him some grace. However, he did lose some grace with some of these guys just yesterday with this CR passage and mostly Democrats supporting this. And they say that it only goes so far. So he has already committed to only doing this once, keeping government funded without any cuts once. He said he won't do this again. And they're going to be working for the next couple of weeks, a couple of months to keep passing these appropriations bills that will fund the government and cut spending. That's what he's committed to.
I'm not quite sure the political wisdom of kicking a government's shutdown fight into an election year, but we'll come to that when it happens. But right now, though, what this bill does not have is money for Ukraine, Israel, the border, and you've been writing on this. So what happens next? When might, if at all, the Congress supply this aid to U.S. allies in need?
Well, and while this continuing resolution, this stopgap measure to fund the government was happening yesterday, meanwhile in the Senate, some conservatives and senators were actually trying to pass Israel-only funding, trying to get that House bill that they passed in the Senate. That obviously did not end up happening. There was not enough support for that. But Republican senators do not want Ukraine, conservatives, I should say, do not want Ukraine aid. They want to pass the Israel aid without Ukraine aid. That's what we see from a lot of the House GOP conference. But Democratic leadership in the Senate is committed to creating a huge supplemental package. That request coming from the White House, and they are waiting to see if they can include some sort of border measures, Jonathan, and that's why we haven't seen that measure passed in the Senate yet. And they're hoping that if it does include some bipartisan border measures, right now there's a group working on that, Ukraine aid, Israel aid, they can pass that with bipartisan support in the Senate and kind of force the House's hand on that issue. However, right now it doesn't look like they're anywhere close to doing that. It's going to take a while.
They certainly will, and we'll be watching it every step of the way. Terrific reporting and analysis from Politico's Daniela Diaz. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.